So once again, another quick video. These have been coming out really quickly in the last 24 hours. Uh, we are now back on the 19th of March. A lot is happening with COVID-19. Australia is now testing vaccines. They're mixing, I think it's malaria and HIV vaccine, testing that sort of level, and people are starting to show improvement, which is fantastic news. In the UK, we're getting another test which is now telling us if you've had COVID-19 and if so, potentially you're immune. So once again, that's going to take a worry from a lot of people. And also, we're moving the test from 5,000 a day to 10,000 a day, which is really good news. A lot of positive things are happening. The most negative thing what's happening, especially for the elderly, people with special needs, people with disabilities and people with mental disorders, is that the shelves are still emptying at the supermarkets. It's bad enough seeing the scare tactics on TV, seeing the news reports, but if you've got issues that you can't help, you just live with them each day, this is freaking people out. So if you can, try to calm down the fact that you panic buying, not a great deal to panic about, as we'll have a look at now. So what I want to do is have a look at yesterday and see what was happening with Corona over in the UK. Here's the UK, and yesterday there was 33 deaths, which is sad, you know, I feel for all the families, but at the end of the day it's 33, with 676 people becoming new cases. Now, if I look to now, the UK, we've had 40 deaths, so that's gone up, and 643 new cases, which has actually gone down. I know today's not over with yet, this can be updated, but it's a positive sign. If we click on the UK, we can see that the total number of cases is just over 3,000. The number of deaths is 144, but now we're seeing recoveries 65. If we compare it to China, which is the hub, new cases 34 and number of deaths 8. It's obviously slowing down now in China. Italy's catching up at 427 deaths with over 5,000 new cases, and we are behind Italy, but we have acted very quickly. People are working at home, people are doing a lot of other stuff, so it's not you know, hopefully we control it a lot better than what we will do than what Italy did, which is good for us, but our hearts go out to people in Italy. But the reality is, there is now worldwide been 242,000 cases with nearly 10,000 deaths, but also over 86,000 recoveries. So it's not massive doom and gloom. If we look at flu, now 46,000 deaths, that was just in the UK. So if we look at this, every year there's an estimated 290,000 to 650,000. So far this year there's been 105,000 deaths. So there's still more people dying with the flu than what there is with Corona. Less than 10,000 with Corona, 105,000 with flu. So we have to get perspective. All this panic buying and stuff needs to calm down, because we have to get perspective. If we look at HIV and AIDS, there's 41 million people in the world that's infected, and this year 363,000 people plus has died. We're not panicking about that, we're not panicking about the flu. Going back over to here, 10,000 deaths, 86,000 people recovered globally. This is an extreme small number. Keep having the paracetamol, keep working at home, keep being sensible, keep washing your hands, avoid touching your face. I know that's difficult, it's a comfort thing, and it also relieves natural stress, but try and avoid it. Right, so what we're doing now is jumping ahead a couple of days, and we're going to look at the 20th of March, which technically at this point would be yesterday. And I've also got Billy, the cat, making an appearance too. So once again, looking at the UK, we have now got 33 more deaths yesterday, taking the death toll to 177. and there was 714 more cases, taking the total to 3,983. Recoveries is still at 65. So people getting it is now increasing, people dying is now increasing, but in the UK, for whatever reason, the recovery seems to be stuck at 65. That's a little bit worrying. I can't lie on that, it is worrying. But hopefully, it's going to take up to 14 days to report recoveries. So let's hope that this goes up in the next couple of days. It's been more or less 65 for a week or so now. So looking forward to seeing that number rise. Also, this was the day when Boris Johnson's decided to close schools, cafes, restaurants, cinemas are already closed, and the hope is that it's going to reduce the actual people contracting COVID-19. So if you have a quick look at today, which is the 21st, and now, and we can see is that the UK has got another 56 deaths, taking it to 233, with 1,035 more cases, taking it to a total of 5,018. And if we click on there, that just clarifies the numbers. This is the number which I worry about. All these numbers at this point become a little bit meaningless. So I've created a spreadsheet for the last 4 days, and we can see there is that recoveries are still stuck at 65, but the rest of it becomes a mash of numbers. So if you have a look at new cases, we can see that the new cases came down on the 19th, which is a dramatic drop. This was around the time when people was told to work at home in the week before, so there's less contact between people. Then leading up to 20th, there's a slight increase, and then into the 21st. Today, there's a further increase. Many people can now jump up and down and panic. Don't. We know that there's about a 5-day incubation period for this. So what we want to know is, by closing pubs, schools, etc., is in 5 days' time, around the 25th, will this start to drop? Death and recoveries. Like I said before, the recoveries is on a flat line. This is the bit what worries me. The deaths seem to have came down a little bit around the 20th, but then it shot up again today. People do die from it, but going back to the website, we're still looking at 5,018 cases, 233 deaths in total, 65 recovered. It is still extremely low numbers, especially when you compare it to the flu, as we have done previously. Looking at graph trends, we can see is that the number of cases is increasing overall, but the number of new cases is decreased, even though it's starting to show a little bit more of a trend going up. The number of deaths is increasing, and then the number of recoveries is just flatlined at the bottom. Today sounded like a lot of deaths. It's the most that we've had up to now. As we can tell on there, is that it started quite low, then we had a peak, then it's dropped back down, and now we've gone into another peak of deaths. This is probably because the recoveries is still sat at 65. That's the bit I want to see improve. It's extremely low numbers. Don't panic buy, don't freak out about it. It is just one of those natural things that will occur now and again. It's something that our generation has never encountered. It's probably something that's not been encountered, for many decades. But with low numbers. Even looking at the global statistics, 303,000 cases, of which there's been 12,000 deaths. A small number compared to a flu, I can't say that enough. And recovered is 94,000 plus. Stop panicking, stop buying all that stuff that you don't really need. Give other people a chance. Now give NHS workers a chance. They're not being able to even get the food that they need, and then we're expected to have them on the front line, helping people, treating people. If you're going out there and you're stockpiling food, I can't say it enough, this is the problem. The 10th time I say it, please stop it. So don't panic, try and enjoy isolation. I know it's difficult. One good thing what you can do is either start a Facebook group or a party, so you can have a chat with people. Get on Skype, get on Google with Hangouts, just chat to people. If you don't want to do that, just go through your phone Start at A and work your way through to Z. So just give them a quick ring, just have that 5-minute chat. When you're in isolation, and to a lot of people that 5 minutes is absolute wonders. It's great, it's wonderful. Just phone 2 or 3 people each day, 5 minutes each. It'll mean the world to them. So until next time, in a couple of days, we'll see what's happening. Hopefully the number of cases will drop because we haven't got the restaurants and bars anymore, but we'll see what happens. Until then, take care and let everybody's thoughts be with each other.